everybody. I'm
Larry, with a beautiful skyline towering just to the right of us, you get a look inside Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. A beautiful fake. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. They go play action here on first down. And he will find his man on the outside. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. Newton on 3rd down. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Fresh set of downs here.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Here's Newton. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
That was not a completion that results in a highlight video. But at the same time, if you have those kind of completions all game long, eventually one of them might turn into a highlight.
But they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
And he gets it to Funchess complete. 8 yards there and a first down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far in the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Great play there off the end. Question, Charles, in a 4-3, you hear about the D tackles a lot. What's the role of the ends?
What they want to do is control the edges of the defense. And you always hear about an offense talking about setting the edge in the running game. Well, the defense wants to do exactly the same thing. And the defensive end, often against an offensive tackle, sometimes a tight end, they can't let themselves get a hook and let a running back get outside. Because if they do that, that hurts the integrity of the defense overall.
My man, the encyclopedia. Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive. But this is 3rd down. Throwing is Newton. And that is incomplete.
Holding offense. The penalty is declined.
4th down, and here's Graham Gano now in the field goal unit for the Panthers. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Second down following the run. Back to throw. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Shaq Thompson. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
He completes it to Julio Jones. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. On 4th down, here's Pat McAfee to kick it away.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard.
Oh, the Panthers come hard and they block it. This will be picked up inside the 10. And they will have the ball here at the 3-yard line. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Newton to throw. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. And that'll make it 3rd down. Now the Panthers get set, 3rd and goal.
And the defense has to account for Cam Newton on this play.
Now Newton on 3rd and goal. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
I have to say that was a surprise call on 3rd and inches. I thought they'd try and run the football there, but you got to believe they thought they'd surprise the defense and pick up something downfield, but that one goes incomplete.
And Gano's kick is right through. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So they take it all the way to the 1-yard line, but in the end, they opt for 3.
I know if this was a video game, they never would have gone for the field goal because, Brandon, who kicks field goals in video games? But you've got to make sure you get points, and that was as easy a 3 as you can get.
You kick field goals in video games. That's who kicks field goals in video games. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and out. And now they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And he's got his man on the out route. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll give the Falcons a 1st down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. Touchdown, Falcons. A great effort there. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Falcons are an extra point away from moving out in front.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
It.
Super toe.
They'll come out in the pistol. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he stopped immediately there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brad, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. So from the 40 to the 45, 5-yard run.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run. From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Shaq Thompson in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time with just punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. You took the words right out of my mouth.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Here's the option going right. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I do know that owners, when they watch their quarterbacks run with the football, they usually hold their breath because that's the franchise. But when you're getting that kind of a gain, hard to argue against calling it.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
Newton on 3rd down. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And a great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the 1st. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. And they'll go on the ground. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Let's just go ahead and go back through that play with his eyes, because he's got to read his keys. Run or pass right off the top. You're probably going to read an offensive lineman to see if he sets up in pass protection, if he fires out for a running play. The next thing is you're going to check and see what the back's going to do. And if he ends up with the football, okay, now you got to check and see. Does an offensive lineman come downfield and try and block you? Are you going to try to elude him? Are you going to take him on and hold your spot? What are you going to do? In this case, didn't have to do any of that. Saw all of his keys, saw the play in front of him, and ran clean to the ball carrier and finished off the play.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. They'll break the huddle, and now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. An encroachment penalty here, maybe just a mental lapse, partner.
Sometimes you have to just watch the football. Make sure it's snapped before you're jumping.
So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. And he'll give it here to his running back. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Now, that was a good job by the defense swarming to the football. And you know it's no cinch that you're going to be able to get the ball into the end zone against them. They're number 2 against the run. So what's an offensive coordinator to do? Check your playlist.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. So that one will get him halfway to the first down marker. 7 yards makes it 3rd and 7 now. 1:59 to go in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary now on 3rd. Throwing on 3rd down. Newton to the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Holding. Defense.
That's one of those ones that is so hard to judge, but defensive holding there, that's what the referee saw. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll try the air now with Newton. That's caught at the 3. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Their big tight end. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers are a 2-point conversion away from tying up this football game. And his kick is good. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's the Panthers defense as they get set to go again. See if they can regroup a little bit. They gave up the touchdown last drive.
And you know from our meetings with coaches all across the league, one of their pet peeves, when teams get down, a lot of these guys now, they want to treat it like it's a video game or something. Hit reset. Let's start over, coach. Out of the first 2 series, they don't even matter now. Let's play again. That's not how it works. You're down. You gave up a touchdown. You can't do it again. You have to dig in, grit it out, and fight it out. Reset buttons. It's driving everybody crazy. There are no reset buttons when you're playing in this game.
Preach, Chucky. Preach. They'll look to throw here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. They'll set up to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And onto the field here come the Panthers. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And this one complete right side to Funchess. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 1st and 10, Newton. Now he'll let it go deep left side. It's caught inside the 25. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. Now a play fake here on first down. It's caught by Funchess. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And they're going to speed things up here. On first down, Newton. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
This offense is in rhythm now, just accumulating first downs and moving the ball downfield.
Now Newton on first down. This will be caught at about the 3. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Corey Brown in the final seconds of the first half. And the Panthers are going to jump back in front. So they're able to capture the lead here just before halftime.
And not only that, they get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
This is almost like basketball down the stretch, right, where you get the 2-for-1 situation where you try and get 2 shots to your opponent's 1. In this situation, they got the touchdown. They'll get another shot at to start the second half.
Could be a big turnaround. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half.
Here we go now. Green 39.
They'll throw now on the final play. Backing up. He's going to look deep down the field. This is caught inside the 15. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
So they tie it on the last play of the second quarter. Now the PAT will give them the lead.
Yeah, and how about that extra little jolt?
And actually, Larry, hold that thought. We're right back to the action. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. Look at the spin. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4.
Let's go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Back to throw now on first down. He can't bring him down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Coney Ely in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility, the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's a right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face a third down.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game. But when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
And he gets it to Funches complete. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. 2nd and very short here, less than a yard.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up.
And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. He's got time in the pocket. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They go play action here on 1st down. Deep drop. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward because they wanted to play fast and get to the quarterback or the running backs quicker than ever before.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Brandon, there's no doubt the defense has to be excited after stacking up back-to-back running plays. But I still remember my old coaches saying, after you've had some success, you better be careful. They might have an answer for you. So make sure you watch your keys, play your techniques, and don't get overconfident.
Here's Newton. And this is going to be incomplete.
Holding. Defense.
Thought he may have gotten away with one there, but the ref caught him, and it's holding. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Panthers are once again going to retake the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This will be taken in at the 1. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
All right, now look at this. Here we go. Let's go.
He'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
And he comes back with one complete. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it, or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now.
Well, the great coach has said football's a really simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. And when you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4. To throw on second down is Newton. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers, Steel Curtain, they would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the Steel Curtain was played. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
So it is third down now, but less than a yard to go. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, jumping over it. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that a defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, it's two guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. Room here to run. Past the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And the defense will accept this penalty and force the offense back. So now the offense is facing a first down and 20 after that last mistake. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
And they'll run it here. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Surveying the field, finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll be 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Second down following the incompletion. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down. Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling him in the huddle right now.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They're going to look to throw. Forced out to his left. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
And he cuts it out right sideline. Some space here. Touchdown, Falcons. A great effort there with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. And he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, the spin. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock. On 1st and 10, Newton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A good pickup there at 22. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere really to go. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7. And a give this time to the tailback. And good penetration. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So 3rd and medium here, 3rd and 5. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And And he'll give it here to his running back. And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the first down yardage there.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And room there to work it inside the 25. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. Victory all but assured now as they take a knee here, and they're going to escape with a one-point victory. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. And this one going to wrap up with Cam Newton going down to a knee. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This a 43-yard attempt.